guys, it's Miss Simpson and it's time for math. Now, yesterday we learned about the customary system and we talked about specifically length. So today we're going to talk about volume and capacity with the customary system. Now, the customary system is what you're used to. It's what we measure things in here in the United States. The customary system, especially for volume and capacity, that's what we use for baking. So if you bake or you cook with your mom or your dad, your grandma, grandpa, anybody really, if you cook it all or bake it all, you use probably a lot of volume and capacity. So you should be kind of used to it. Now, remember, the metric system we are going to talk about later, but today we're focused on customary volume and capacity. Okay, so let's talk about each unit of measurement and kind of what would be measured using those. So when I say gallon, what do you think of instantly? Like a gallon of milk, right? Like a big old gallon jug of milk or tea or orange juice or whatever you can get in a gallon jug. Y'all see those all the time, and I guarantee you most of you have, unless you're lactose intolerant, you have a gallon of milk in your fridge right now. I know I do. Gallon of milk. That's the big old jug of milk. So once we start with a gallon, that's our biggest, that is our biggest volume, our biggest capacity. So start with your gallon. And then we're going to move into, let me get it up. We're going to start with our big gallon. And we are going to move into our quarts. Now, a quart is like a quart of milk or juice. And now I know that you're like, well, Miss Simpson, you just said a gallon of milk or juice. So a gallon's the big one. But do you ever get just the little tiny ones, or just like the little tiny things of juice? They're a little bit smaller than a gallon. That is a quart. And there are 4 quarts in a gallon. So this is the gallon man or gallon guy or the big G, whatever you want to call it. But there are 4 quarts in a gallon. So let's move a little bit smaller. What about a pint? A pint. Have you ever been to the donut store and got a small thing of milk? I know I have, like a small thing of chocolate milk or strawberry milk or plain milk. That is a pint. It's real small. And for every single one of these quarts, there are 2 pints. So in every single one of these quarts, there are 2 pints. So remember, all of this fits into our big G, our big gallon guy, or whatever you want to call him. I call him the gallon guy, but whatever. Anyway, so now that we have a pint, we're going to go into cups. So a cup is like, have you ever baked anything? If you put a cup of flour or like a coffee cup, normally that's about a cup. Not like a big giant coffee cup like Miss Simpson has, but like a small coffee cup. And guess what? For every pint, there are 2 cups. So I'm just going to write 2 C's on every single P. So in one big gallon, and I'm going to have this up all the time, in one big gallon, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 quarts. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pints. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cups. Wow. So that's how we go from big G all the way down to tiny c. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is an ounce. So 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. An ounce is like a handful of pretzels. It's tiny. It's not very much of anything, or like really a handful of most anything is about an ounce. So like goldfish, crackers, whatever you like to eat. All right. So now that you know what the customary units of measurement for volume and capacity are, we're going to start talking about what would you measure each of these with. So let's take a look at these. So we're going to determine the appropriate customary measurement. So let's look at a measuring cup. Do you think a measuring cup could hold 1 cup, 1 fluid ounce, 1 gallon, or 1 quart? Ooh. So remember, gallon is big G. Gallon is our big G. So a measuring cup is a little bit bigger than a cup, but it probably couldn't hold a gallon. It can hold more than a handful of pretzels, right? So we're thinking, is it a quart or is it a cup? Okay, well, I know measuring cups sometimes are different measurements. So do you think it can hold 4 cups worth of like water per se? I hope you said yes, because my measuring cup at home, at least, it can hold about a quart. 1 big Q, a quart, because it can hold about 1, 2, 3, 4 cups. Now let's look at a kiddie pool. Do you think it is just 15-ish handfuls of pretzels? 15 gallons of milk? 15 quarts, remember, think of quarts as that little thing of juice? Or 15 pints, the little tiny thing, of chocolate milk? What do you think? A kiddie pool. I would say 15 gallons. So if I put 15 gallons of water, it'd probably be about a kiddie pool. Because remember, if I did 15 pints, the little tiny things of chocolate milk, that's not really a whole lot. If I did 15 quarts, that's a little bit more, but it's only one part of this. I think gallons, the big G, is what we need. Okay, a barbecue sauce bottle. That's pretty small, about this big. Okay, 2 gallons. Oh my gosh, think. 2 gallons of milk. If you had barbecue sauce, that much barbecue sauce in your life, I would be like, what is wrong? Why do you have that much barbecue sauce? Maybe you're having a cookout. But one barbecue sauce bottle does not hold 2 gallons. Do you think it holds 1 pint? 6 cups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be 3 pints. Or 2 quarts, 2 big Qs. Think about it. A quart is like the milk. Think about the milk. So let's see if I can, or think quarts. I would like maybe juice, because I think that that's easier to remember. So let me show you what a quart of juice looks like, because I just want you to get this in your head. I feel like you've probably seen it at the grocery store before, but like this. That's like a quart of juice. Okay. Now, a pint is like what I think of when you go to the donut store, like a pint of milk. That's what a pint of milk looks like. So what do you think a barbecue sauce bottle is? I think 6 cups is too much, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be 1, 2, 3 chocolate milk bottles. That's too much. 2 big Qs, that would be 4 chocolate milk bottles. I think that's too much. I think we only need 1 pint here, which is just 1 chocolate milk bottle. What about a jug of milk? Ooh, we talked about this. A big old jug of milk? I hope you know a jug of milk is a gallon. Come on. What about a fish bowl? 1 pint, 10 quarts, 2 cups, or 6 pints? I'm going to show you big G, and I want you to think about that. Think about that right now, and then I'm going to tell you the answer. A fish bowl. What do you think it is? If I had to guess, the crazy thing about it is a fish bowl, I would either pick 1 pint or 2 cups, because 1 pint is 2 cups. But it's not, a fish bowl doesn't have that much water in it, does it? 6 pints seems like a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess it depends on the size of your fish bowl, but most fish bowls I've had are real small. And I would say about 1 pint or 2 cups. And finally, what about a glue bottle? Get your answer, and then we will see if you're right. Now, if you're crazy and you make slime like crazy, you might have a gallon glue bottle. That's what a lot of kids here do. But that's not the one I'm looking for. 2 pints, which would be 2 of these, 2 milk bottles. Seems like a lot. 2 quarts, 2 of the juices. That seems like a lot. 12 fluid ounces. Ooh, like 12 handfuls of pretzels. Considering I've already marked all these off and D is my only answer, I'm going to go with D. All right, my friends. let's go ahead and start talking about conversions again. So I taught you conversions yesterday with length. I want to tell you a little secret. It's the same thing. We're going to use input-output tables again. So on your paper, I want you to draw one with me because I'm only going to go over a few because this should be practice. So I want you to write input, output, and draw a line. So I first want you to write on there 1 pint, which you can say pint as PT. 1 pint is 2 cups. And we can see that by our gallon man. So if you can draw and remember this gallon man, it's going to be so easy for you. So if I have 1 pint, 1P is equal to 2 cups. What about 2 pints? What about 3 pints? Now, I'm going to show you on here how to find it on the gallon man, but I'm also going to show you how to find it using the rule. So let's start with our rule. So you look at your input and your output and you think 1. Can I multiply 1 times anything and get 2? Yeah, I can multiply 1 times 2 and that'll give me 2, right? So then I've just got to do that rule to this one and to this one. So go ahead and solve those for me. I hope that you got 2 pints is 4 cups and 3 pints is 6 cups. Well, guess what I could also do? I could go on here and if they want to say 2 pints is how many cups? I would look on here and say 2 pints. I see 2 P's and I would count how many cups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. 3 pints. So I see 3 P's is how many cups? 2, 4, 6. That's how this gallon man helps me. I like the gallon man. You might like to find the rule better, and that is fine. Let's do another one. Finding the rule. So I want you to draw an input-output table. We're going to do 3 problems together, and then I'm going to leave you off to your own devices to do your assignment. I want you to do, if 1 cup is 8 ounces, how many is 2 cups and 3 cups? So pause the video and find that one while I make up our next one. Okay, so I hope that you paused the video and you thought to yourself, 1 times what will give me 8? I know anything times 1 is itself. So 1 times 8 equals 8. So now I've just got to carry that down to all of these. 2 times 8 and 3 times 8. And that would give me 16 ounces and 24 ounces. All right, last but certainly not least, I want you to do 1 gallon is 4 quarts. How many is 2 gallons and 3 gallons? So find your answers to that, and then we will check it. Okay, so I hope that you said to yourself, okay, 1 times what equals 4? I've got to find my rule. And I found out 1 times 4 equals 4. So then I'm just going to do that to all of these down here. So what's 2 times 4? 8. So that gives me 8 quarts. And 3 times 4 is 12. So that gives me 12 quarts. Did you get the right answers? I hope you did. You could have also used gallon man if that helped you more. I just think that input output, sometimes that's easier for me, especially it's a little faster sometimes. Okay, for your assignment, I'm going to put gallon man right below. You can look at him if you would like to. You have to tell me what you would use to measure each of these. It looks just like yesterday, but now it's with capacity. And then you're going to use these input output tables to do your conversions. All right, my friends, I love y'all so much. I hope that you have a fantastic fantastic day. And if you need any help, I will be on Zoom. Now, my friends that I helped yesterday on Zoom, I hope that you know what you're doing today, that it's a lot easier and that you know a little bit more of what you're doing. Anyway, I love y'all so much. Have a great day.